Scott Narver, this past weekend was Backlash.
Yes, Jake Lloyd Bacon, it was. And I think today we're going to do a fallout of it.
Yeah, but this is just sort of like what we used to do if we do like a review of a pay-per-view.
Jake, people love our reviews.
I don't know. Do we really have to do this, though?
Yeah, I think we do. Jeff Cobb just hopped the rail.
Holy shit, Jeff Cobb, what are you doing here? And when did I get a railing?
Oh, God, he looks kind of upset.
Well, we better fucking do this review then.
WWE Backlash 2025 Fallout today on Pro Wrestling Palskis.
Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Hello to everybody joining us for another PWP. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Scott Narver, I did a thing. I didn't tell you I did a thing.
Oh, you got married?
No. If I did, we wouldn't tell you.
It's true.
The exclusive patron-only live stream is free on Patreon. It's just open. You still have to be a member, but it's not behind any of the tiers. You just have to sign up for the Patreon at all, even as a free member, and then you can tune in live for the watch along.
I'm aware that you can become a free member on our Patreon. You can just go and sign up and be aware of all the things that are available and window shop all you like.
Yeah.
But now, with doing that, they get access to the live chat without my say.
Yeah, I just did that today. Just right now. We're live right now on the Patreon for anybody who wants to go to the patreon.com/pwpalskis.
Jake, you slut.
I am a feisty little whore. Everybody knows that about me.
Your back door's open and everybody's in.
And you know who else is in? PWP champ Tony Griggs. In the second month of his reign.
Yeah.
Now tied for second, a three-way tie of longest reign. Only one person has reigned longer.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. That's right. Yes. And proud MAGA supporter Roman Reigns and his highest follower Gilbert Short, who I believe had a 3-month.
Oh,
reign.
I didn't know Gilbert Short was also MAGA.
Yeah. That's why he loves Roman so much.
Oh, no wonder you guys are such buddies.
He loves giant teeth and fascism.
That's you.
GTNF, baby.
Mm-hmm.
GTNF. God, I hate the world we live in. It is hard being a wrestling fan, but it's okay because we are the Pro Wrestling Palskis. And
there's always Pat McAfee.
Wait, where'd you go? Did you die?
Visual gags.
Tim Redbeard in the chat. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you, old Timmy Redbeard. Timmy RB does not have a red beard. Not even a ginger. He's lying.
But he just has a copper deficiency. Regardless.
You have more of a red beard than he does. Copper deficiency is he in NXT?
Mm-hmm. So you'll love him.
Only in a time machine.
He's on that Let's Fucking Go show. The Tony Khan show.
The LFG. They did that intentionally, right? Like that's them being cheeky.
I guess. I don't know. I think that what was really cheeky was what they sold to the network. What is that? A&E?
I have no idea.
I believe it's. I think it's A&E.
Okay.
For the entertainment, leave out the arts. Whatever channel it's on, all resources have told me that was supposed to. They thought they were getting a wrestling show,
like just a regular show, like an episode,
basically like what I think it's Evolve on Tubi.
Got it.
Is just a straight up wrestling show. And they said like, yeah, we want that, and they go, nah,
we're giving you a reality show instead. We're giving you Tough Enough still.
Yeah, and they went, oh, okay. No. We'll have Undertaker on it. Will he be like the Undertaker? No. Oh, well, all right. Okay.
I mean,
can we get Shane McMahon?
All right, but
why don't they do anything we want?
Is there any chance we can get Sabu though?
Breaking news: he's dead.
Sabu literally moments ago passed away. No, we don't know if it's moments ago, but we
Yeah.
just read, according to somebody who posted it in the Discord. By the way, get into the Discord. That Sabu passed away.
Did you win your Deadpool?
I am shocked. No, I had him 10 years ago.
Oh shit!
I am shocked that he did not die wrestling. Although we don't know that he didn't. Actually, I didn't read like an article. It just.
I think it would have mentioned that. In the post of it. Yeah, it's crazy. What's still crazier? Jake the Snake Roberts is still alive.
Honestly, kind of amazing.
No, it's beyond that. It's very sad for Sabu and all that. I know he had wrestled this past WrestleMania weekend. I don't remember the show. Like this is all just sprung on us in the moment. So I would have looked it up normally.
So yeah, he wrestled this past weekend. You said
no, WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, WrestleMania weekend. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I want to say against Joey Janela. I don't know if that's totally accurate.
Yeah. WWE.com just posted. WWE said to learn of that Terry Brunk, known to wrestling fans as Sabu, has passed away. Yeah, nephew of the Sheik. This is just going to be like a brief history. Yep, doesn't say anything about anything that's actually occurred recently.
Right, because that's just that's a draft.
Of course.
They got them all.
Wait, post it.
They're like, oh wait, I hit.
Wait, did you say Sable? No, I said Sabu. God damn it!
Did you say Tiffany Stratton? No, she's fine. Oh shit, I said. Well, I posted she's dead.
60 years old, cause of death, not
from ads on the New York Post.
God damn it, not disclosed. His retirement match against Joey Janela last month, and it stated that it was a retirement match ahead of time. That was what they said.
Okay. I just don't buy it.
Like that it was going to be a retirement match?
It could have been like John Cena. He could have been like, shit, I can do this for a year?
This is the only way that wrestlers actually have retirement matches. Is if they die
fight the Reaper.
Just seeing if there's anything of note on this to say. Nope, it's all the same. I mean, listen, Sabu is a legend. Not everybody's flavor. A divisive individual behind the scenes and in the stages.
What?
Yeah, there were a lot of people I think who were
because some people like to point down.
Because he's crazy. Yeah, they were like, stop going that way.
No, over here.
The dude lived a gimmick. He was a little crazy.
Yeah, he's
such a carny.
He's related to the Sheik.
Yeah,
who was the ultimate version of this, and Sabu was like, yeah, you kind of got it, but no. There's no one more who lived it than the Sheik.
Right. So
it makes sense. Tim Redbridge says Sabu's final match against Joey Janela was so sad.
Or in fairness, that was two different comments. It could be Sabu's final match against Joey Janela was, and then just blank, like he just stopped typing, and then a completely separate comment was so sad.
Oh, so he's playing Mad Libs. Well, no, we're doing a Fallout today, sir. We're not doing a Mad Libs. That'll be when I'm remote.
Well, there you go. Sabu. Do you have any Sabu memories?
I mean, I've seen him around WrestleCons and stuff. I've never interacted with the guy because there was always a bit of, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real and what's not with that dude. He's dedicated. I mean, that was a guy I felt like at any point with some of these guys that go, you could just change the gimmick and go like, I'm not hardcore anymore. Headlocks and arm holds, Foley had done that in ECW. You could do that over and over again and not fuck yourself up for money, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
he was a guest, performer on a few shows back when I was working in the industry and he was a very nice guy, but he was very closed off.
Sure.
With the exception of like the few people that he would actually speak to. Like I saw him interact with Balls, and then I saw him
Mahoney.
Yes, I should specify, not just Balls in general.
Hey, fellas. Oh, God.
I saw him, interact with Balls Mahoney. I saw him interact with Dreamer. Completely different dude from when he was interacting with, like Loki, or like, the people that were like the stars, the young stars of the era.
Sure. So if he'd been through it with you, The guard was down.
I felt like
he knew
that's-
you,
yeah.
and everybody else was like, "Yeah."
And that was my
We'll see.
perception of it. I think I might have said 5 words to him, the entirety of the time that, he would pop up.
Stay away from balls.
But in that instance, not balls, Mahoney.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Your own.
Yeah, I mean, a legend.
All 3 of them.
60s. It's strange to say like 60s, really young, but not surprising for any wrestler who did that to his body.
Yeah.
Um,
And just, that era, who knows the type of lifestyle behind the scenes. But
Right.
overall, it's just, hopefully life was good. I think
Yeah.
he was married at the end. I know he
Yeah.
had a lady there in the past few years that was around. And
yeah, she was like
hanging.
a valet with him and stuff, right?
But if him and Rob Van Dam were cool together, it's just kind of a bummer because Rob's having a kid now. And, that probably would have been kind of neat for Sabu to see. And
Just to be his godfather.
yeah, I guess so. And
Imagine
then he
leaving your
could point
kid.
at the baby.
Imagine leaving your kid to that guy in case something ever happens to you.
Why's he got a cheese grater? Stop it.
Like, you're a godfather only in name.
Mhm.
If something happens,
The Godfather is his godfather.
her sister. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he every wrestler's godfather?
Yeah. Godfather ain't easy.
Wow, shit. All right. It was Backlash. It was WWE Wrestlemania Backlash.
Nope.
Oh, they stopped doing that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They saved the dumb titles for NXT.
Great. Backlash happened, despite the fact that I had no idea. And
If you had to be aware of all these things, there would be no wrestling anymore.
is this the thing where they do like that? They like put
That's
one guy
boxing.
puts his, no, I'm like, there's another person here. I'm like, he's like hugging the guy.
Oh,
and it's
that's
behind his head.
That's Lars Sullivan videos.
Oh, fuck, I love those.
Yeah, I know.
Butt
Butt sex.
Now I have to use that as the cold open. I have no choice, or else that's just gonna sound like you just randomly yell butt sex at people.
I learned it from watching you. All right.
I hope you did, because Daddy takes it good.
Backlash happened on Saturday.
It was some stuff that was Mania holdovers. It felt mostly like this
Holdovers?
wasn't, meaning like, hey,
Paul
this is
Giamatti?
continuation.
At a school.
Oh god, that movie was so good. This felt to me like an old school small pay-per-view. This felt like an in your house.
They've
Where-
been doing these.
I know, but the point I'm trying to make is like when all the dust had settled, it was so like no titles changed hands.
No, there was no dust. There was no gold dust. There was no stardust. No dust.
Not a single dust was
Dustless.
there. That's why it wasn't special.
Swept clean.
But overall, like, what was your overall?
So you're
take?
saying overall that
Yeah.
the dust was settled, that everything's done or over?
Everything felt like this like was didn't matter. We're gonna move on to whatever's next with little to no repercussions for what happened.
What?
I don't know. That's just how I felt. Maybe it's because I haven't watched the build up to some of them stuff, but they were good video packages.
What are you talking about? Like that? None of these things are going to occur again. These are all finished. I'm trying
the we started Orton and Cena the day after he won, and now
Yeah.
it's gonna. I feel like Cena's gonna move on to something new. I don't think Orton's gonna continue in that state.
potentially, yes.
Yeah. I feel like this was a good, crazy title defense for Jacob Fatu, so they
Yeah.
can have a good defense. But it's ultimately going to be like, great, who's the new one-on-one thing? I don't think we're going to get LA Knight specifically against him. We're gonna,
Yeah, but we have
all that
the other
stuff
two
is
guys in the match
fraction
that
off.
are keep fighting.
Sure.
So that's not done.
All right, that's fair. I guess I'm thinking about title pictures.
The two ladies aren't done.
We want to start from the beginning and go match by match.
Sure, because I think we got a lot of these that we addressed. It's like, no, they're not done. They're gonna keep going. There's more to come. So the opening match was Jacob Fatu, the United States champion, versus LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in a fatal 4-way match. This was, and this is in St. Louis. So I've been stoked for this for a while because overall, the Orton of now, I think, is the best one. And going into this was just such a big deal. And we've talked about Mania and like what that was set up for him. But this crowd was fucking on fire from the get-go.
Yeah, they were happy.
They were extremely happy. And I think the layout of the show was done exceptionally as far as like placement, everything that happened. It felt like a proper build
Right.
all the way through of a show, not a, hey, you're getting a main event first.
Right, sure.
We're going to burn you out a little bit, and then you're going to
get a world title match to open it, and then a world title match to end it.
Yeah, that they have, because I wasn't able to follow everything going up into this. I followed the first half or so of the shows, and then I just assumed like, oh, Jey Uso and Logan Paul's happened on the show.
You mean the first half of like
the weeks of run
since
yeah,
Mania,
like Raws and SmackDowns.
Right. I think I watched like the first two Raws that came after SmackDown. I don't see anymore. But same. I was surprised that this was even a 4-way. I'm just trying to watch them.
No, I'm just saying that's why you didn't see SmackDown.
Oh, they got you.
Can't see nothing. And it was really laid out well. So yeah, I didn't know that it was a 4-way either. I just thought, I assumed stuff like Jey Uso was going to fight Logan Paul in this as well. So we were going to have a title match and a title match. Thought it was just going to be stacked with, half and half of stuff I do and don't want to see. But no, they have the other events later so they can sparse that out, which felt great for this.
Right.
That it could build properly. So we had our opening match. LA Knight came out first. Crowd went fucking ballistic, but it only built from there. That as excited as they were for LA Knight, they were certainly excited to see Drew, Damian, and then holy Lord, did the roof blow off for Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's just cool to see that this guy, when I went to that MLW show a couple of months back now, they were showing a really great video packages of everybody who's kind of walked through the doors. And I've always been unfamiliar with MLW, always meant like, I'll get to it and watch it. And there was a lot of reactions because so many people have been through those doors, but Jacob Fatu is one of their guys.
Right.
And that is clearly a crowd of people that have been to a lot of these shows. They're just super fans.
They're familiar. Yeah.
And every time they showed him, that reaction got louder and louder. Like they fucking love him.
Right.
So to get that history of the crowd there and go, oh shit, I'm really missing out on this guy.
There's a connection that's happening.
But it's so cool to see just on the main stage that he's presented in that he's won everybody over so quickly.
Do you think that that they're surprised by this? I mean, when I say they, I mean like WWE, the suits and the writers and all that stuff. And do you think that because of the reaction that he's gotten, that their plans are different from where they were when they first brought him in?
I would think that, when you say suits, I'll say yes, because I think the executives who are not in wrestling don't get it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess I mean more so like Triple H and the people, like the people who are creative, I guess.
I think he knew what he was getting and probably saw like, no, this kid, if he maintains what he's doing, like he's got it.
I mean, they put him on at the time, the most clear heel faction that was on television. Because at that point, even Judgment Day was getting cheers because people like Liv and like and other people like that bloodline. Nobody liked him. Like it was Solo. It was the other two.
Yes, they're all hateable characters.
Yes. And then you brought this guy in, and immediately people are just like, "Well, we like him. He's with this group that we all hate and boo." But like, he was cheered from the jump
because he's legit. Also,
and he's exciting.
There's a story of, that was reiterated on the show of he'd been to prison.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
He's just got the aura of this guy's got it. He's scary.
Right.
So if we're gonna boo him, we'll boo him because he did something terrible to someone we love.
Right.
But no, this guy's too fucking cool to deny.
Right.
And he's badass.
So I guess my question
is, it's a bit of the Braun Breaker effect of something like that right now too, where it's the undeniable. Yeah, but he's so fucking cool.
It's fun to watch. Yeah.
Unless you make him treacherous and just ruins everything.
And also don't let him do the big physical feat things that we find impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we are going to cheer him because we don't want you to not put him on the show.
Right.
We're spending thousands of dollars for these fucking seats.
Right.
Put him on the show.
Yeah. Do you think that the intent when they put him with the Bloodline was like, well, yeah, eventually we'll have him versus Solo?
I could see that. I would think it's you could probably assume it's going to play out a certain way that Solo, Tama, and Tonga are all cast in roles of you will be these guys. We are going to get you over if you don't get yourselves over.
Right.
Like we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make these guys Jacob's going to make himself.
Right.
And we just got to make sure that we're following suit with it. I feel that's what I feel is kind of how they looked at it.
Right.
Once they had them in place and go, he's going to be fine.
Right.
As long as he doesn't fuck up personally or just be argumentative, he's going to be fine.
Well, what did you think of the match itself? In fairness, this match was the first one on the card, and I was working, and it was a surprise to me that Backlash was occurring this night.
A lot of this.
So I was finishing. Huh? Well, I was finishing a work thing while I had this
butt sex,
and I kind of half watched the most of this match because I had to wrap up what I was doing. So I caught like the gist of it more than the definitive like story of what was happening. Obviously, Drew and Damian kind of had their own thing, and I saw that they were off in the distance, and they had the big spot on the riser, and like
it escalated with them. This match was great. This was another 4-way.
I kind of want to. It
was back to the old formula of we talked about with the triple threats that we had at Mania,
right?
Where we go, hey, great, all 3 participants were involved for both, practically the whole time,
right?
We didn't have someone gets thrown crocodile out, and then the crocodile eyes looking over the apron and going, is it my turn? Is it my cue? We had a bit of that back into this, but it played out really well. The timing was great. There was always action happening. Jacob's just great. Jacob's just a fucking star. But LA Knight's also great. They all flowed really well together. And Drew McIntyre is really the best medicine for anybody right now.
Really?
It's so exceptional for Punk.
Right.
That they brought the best out of each other. He's really helping Damian out quite a bit right now. For Damian, that I felt kind of meh on, and even the Mania match going into it, I was like, I don't really care. He's really bringing out the best of Damian. It's waking something up. It's still getting there, but them separating and then just fighting in the crowd, going through shit, like that was great. And then it took him out of the fight for the title.
Right.
So then we were just down to the 2 guys.
Sure.
And then amongst that, I'm sure you'd seen this because how would you not just turn your head and go, the fuck is happening?
Sure, of course.
That
yes,
outside the rail.
He was gonna, Fatu was gonna put LA Knight or jump onto him through the announce table, and then all of a sudden Solo pulls him off of the announce table to protect it. Oh wait, I'm sorry, other way around. LA Knight was gonna get it. Yeah. And saves.
They cut right back to him on the perfect moment. He goes, the fuck?
Yeah. So Solo comes and saves, and there's been some contentious nature between Solo and Jacob because of the title victory, and Solo being like, well, I helped you get that. Like it's because of me that you have that. And so the seeds of discontent have been sown in the bloodline.
And Jacob going like, I'm just going to do it. I got this and I don't need you. And I think it's a very similar story of what's happening in the Judgment Day. It's not beat for beat.
Sure.
With Dominic and Finn.
Right.
But I think they're executing it far better with all parties.
Okay. Interesting.
Because Dominic, I think, is great. Finn.
Dominic's. Yeah. I know you're not a fan.
Not the acting.
Sure.
But so then Solo is there, but then LA Knight is going to start fucking with Solo.
Yep.
And then gets clotheslined from over the guardrail.
Yeah.
And no one's even wearing a Sting mask.
I can't even. I didn't know you could do that when you bought a ticket. You could just clothesline anybody?
When you pay that much money, you're allowed to clothesline someone.
Are you allowed to throw beer cans at people?
Hopefully.
Apparently.
Jeff Cobb hops over the rail.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this dude for like 6 years now. About any day now he's going to debut in WWE.
He's been everywhere, man. And I always felt shortchanged every time I saw him because I've always heard the hype, and he had his cool stuff that he did in Lucha Underground, but he wasn't Jeff Cobb. I think it was Matanza. So he's playing a character. He's one of their world champions.
Okay.
And but every time in AEW, it's just a fart in the wind. Like he shows up and you go, well, that was it? Like you built him up, he's gonna be this killer, and then he does some kind of weird segment and then he's gone. And any of the New Japan stuff I saw was just kind of like, oh, okay. I guess he didn't fight someone that he's really good with, or this was just an off night. But I maintain like he's got to be amazing. Everybody talks about him, so I'm hitting the reset button. No prejudgment.
Right.
I know this guy's got a rep, so I wasn't overall wowed with how he presented himself.
You mean at Backlash or in general?
At Backlash.
Yeah, I also feel like it was sort of a. I think that part of the problem is that the Bloodline's done this for the past 5-6 years of just like, oh my God, there's another person that they know who's here. We've had so many look who it is moments. And I kind of feel like at this point, I almost would have we talk about it, stop playing music for new people. This one, I almost would have preferred the music just because it feels kind of unspecial doing it this way. And also he definitely just seemed like a guy who did buy a ticket.
I got to tell you though, I love that both Solo and Jeff Cobb were not wearing a hoodie.
Wait, see, this is how unmemorable his presentation was, is that I recall him in a black hoodie. Was he not wearing a black hoodie?
Black.
Jeff Cobb was not in a black.
As was Solo Sikoa. He was not wearing a hoodie.
Okay.
Because that's been an AEW trend for sure. For far too long. And WWE is very guilty of it too.
100%.
But neither one were wearing a hoodie. And then, hey, it's me. Right. No, just a guy jumped over the rail, fucking beat him up. But I just felt, and this is nitpicking a bit, but just have that stronger choice of an emotion. Like, are you intensely pissed?
Right.
Are you this? He just seemed kind of like, we're doing this, right? Like the crowd is here and this is,
I think
I need a second take. I wasn't ready.
It's almost like they were trying, because of the whole thing of Jacob Fatu not knowing, right? And Jacob Fatu being surprised and not knowing, like, oh, do we have beef? You helped me, but what's going on?
I think he played it well.
I think the problem was Cobb matched that instead of just being like, let's go, or whatever, or telegraphing something. Like,
just on your face.
Yeah.
Just mean mug him, something.
Right.
And Solo was all right in that, but I'm just looking at Jeff going, why are you confused? You didn't just, I don't think
what did I just do?
St.
How did I get here?
Like, what's going on? But I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
Jacob played it off well, and then when finished off LA Knight, got the win.
Nice to have a new member of the Bloodline that isn't a member of the Bloodline, and like, although I am a little bit worried that they're going to be like, he's as Samoan as Yokozuna was. They're gonna be like, oh, he's a honorary. Or they're gonna be like, he's actually a blood brother. He's not. It's kind of like the way The Rock is.
I think it was one of the only calls that Michael Cole made that was accurate, amongst the many that were like, no, dude, are you watching the show? Jesus Christ. He said that Solo Sikoa had said previously that he was out of soldiers.
Right.
So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That
meaning there's nobody
he's
left.
Recruiting.
Right.
From in the bloodline. Yeah. Because they have child labor laws, apparently. And they can't just start stacking kids in there. So I thought this was a great segment. The crowd was certainly into Jeff Cobb's showing up. I mean, I was shocked by it too. It was cool. Helps fuel everything. Jacob Fatu walking in the back, still just not fully trusting what's going on, but he had the title. He won it, but he had a little bit of help and didn't seem thrilled about that.
Right.
So just well done. Then we got into two Irish ladies that don't like each other. They're really playing that up. They're both Irish and they're both women. It's crazy.
Did they know each other before they got to WWE, despite the fact that since they've both been WWE, neither one of them has mentioned the other person up until now?
Yeah.
So
Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship held by Lyra Valkyria.
I will say this. The Raw after Mania match was so much better than the Mania match. And in that I actually saw a little bit of why people like Lyra. Like there was a little bit of intensity there. There was some nice chemistry between her and some of the ladies. It was fun. The beginning of this match I did not like at all, because this is supposed to be your hero, right? Meaning like this is like the person who helped you get into wrestling, and like she's the reason you're a wrestler. And then like she comes back and you have this big Mania moment. You win the titles, and then on the next night she turns her back on you and she like hits you from behind, and it's this awful
beats
thing.
You up constantly, but you're selling of you're more shocked the whole time she punches you.
Exactly. Yeah, you weren't selling the pain.
Actually, yeah.
Yes.
Huh?
But the thing is you're then in this match and you're doing like catch can like fucking Jack Sabre Jr., whatever his name is, Zack Sabre Jr. Like you're doing like weird fucking pins and a fucking surfboard.
It's
what
Jack
are you doing?
Sabre Jr.
Thank you very much. I always confuse that. Mm-hmm. Crack Haber Funior. But I don't know. I just felt like she was like, aren't you supposed to be angry at this woman? Like, she didn't seem to be upset.
Or I would have preferred just outclassing her the whole time. There's a bit of that with submissions, but the story had, I think, evolved in a nice way. I was a bit checked out of this match because when I saw Becky, I go, oh, right. The last I was watching of the programs was post WrestleMania. We get all the bad guy explanations.
Of course.
We get,
yes.
Well, let me justify why I'm a bad guy.
Well, fancy seeing you here, Bond, just in time.
So we had our Cena one, that was playing out, and he was still addressing that and doing that. It's like, okay, I get it. He's still letting us know why I'm bad, and I don't really like you, but if I see you on the street, I'll give you an autograph. And then we had Heyman doing his, and then when I got around to Becky's, and maybe I watched them out of order, but when Becky's was doing hers, I was like, all right, just stop explaining this.
Yeah.
And so when I saw her, I go, I'm not really into this and the package, her coming out and the music. And I'm like, no, this is fucking rocking. And this is happy stuff. Like, you're not a bad person with this music. This all doesn't fit for me yet.
I didn't mind, even though I didn't entirely connect with me, at least I understood when she was doing like big time Beck stuff, when she was kind of a heel and she was dressing a little bit more exotic and being more like, I'm at the top of the totem pole, like the man Becky that was a heel.
Yeah.
That to me seemed like more authentic to who she is turned up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this just felt like, oh, we're going to take that character that you did and now you're bad. And it doesn't connect. I don't want to boo her. I don't like it. It was just, I don't know. There's a disconnect happening here.
Yeah. I agree. A disconnect is happening
here.
The
match was fine. I just hated in the beginning of it. I hated that nobody was angry. Like, I just wanted some rage, and it was supposed to be a grudge match. Like, she turned her back on you in the beginning of the match. Lyra's like, okay, collar and elbow, and then I'm going to do a surfboard to you, and then I'm like, what are we doing? This isn't a fight.
Becky having some semblance of, you have to beat me. I don't have to beat you.
Yeah, 100%.
Just
kind of a bummer.
It's odd. It's ultimately fine.
Right.
Like by the end, it's, it's exciting. Crowd was into it, but it was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of where I land on it.
But again, good placement, like kept totally. Things moving, and it's all right.
And it was a
Lyra retains.
Right. And I was going to say it was a mid-card women's championship match that felt like it fell in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come after a women's world championship.
Yes.
Which is we've had problems with in the past.
And I know they're trying to do everything to get people into Lyra.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet myself.
God,
she got wings.
The Always Sunny wings I will never be able to accept.
Yeah. She loves Red Bull.
Is that what gave her those?
Yeah.
Shit.
Then we had Dominic Mysterio holding the Intercontinental Championship versus Penta.
This was fun. These guys have great chemistry. Dom is, again, he just continues to get better and better and better. And
he's just not there yet, which is so exciting.
I know. Right. But it's just the combination of the character and the wrestling style.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this with other wrestlers. Whenever we try to kind of approach this from a performer's standpoint about like, there's some wrestlers who are really good at the wrestling, and there are some who are really good at the character, and there are some who can't put the two together at the same time, where where in between your wrestling moves, you can do something, but then the second you're thinking about, I gotta do this, you're just not there at all whatsoever in your face. Like Dom,
like Max Saber Gunter.
Yes, exactly. Max Gunther Jr. Is not like this, but yeah, Dom just, everything is always on. The dude is always on.
He's a little shit the whole way through.
And even the style of his wrestling, like the lucha style, where it's sort of that like mean lucha that he's doing. He's like a scrawny rudo. Isn't that what they call them in Lucha Libre, rudos? Like, it's just like, it's fucking great. Like, he's just fucking great. I just love watching this dude. And I never thought I would have, given where he started in the pandemic, in that weird, like, it's just, he's so good.
I just always thought of, if Ray wasn't on the cover of that video game, you would have been fucking released.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Like, thanks, kid. It's just not working out right now.
Yeah.
But, hey, we'll see you back. Like, you'll definitely be back someday.
Another little silly thing that I just love, I thought it happened once before, and I can't remember which couple it was, and I think it was a real life couple versus a kayfabe couple, but like him doing Liv's move.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. There's something about I love that so much.
She couldn't get on the Morgan & Morgan sponsored show. Because she's doing a movie that's hopefully about the story of Morgan and Morgan.
That's why they couldn't have it. It would be too confusing.
I still can't wait for the day that
she'd be like, my name is on the mat twice.
All this shit gets blurred out.
It won't get blurred out because that's not, we've been through this once before.
Yeah. And they do it for the video games all the time.
Oh, video games might get blurred out.
And then they will for sure do it because UFC does it all the time. Because the sponsors don't pay any money anymore. So they start blurring that shit left and right.
Sure.
So someday when it's like, what is that on the mat? Is that Prime? No, they're cool with Prime. That was the Morgan and Morgan show.
Yeah, I can't imagine that those aren't. Again, I don't know about new media stuff like, video games and stuff like that. But I can't imagine that these contracts, considering Raw is on Netflix, which is a new media deal itself. It's not a television network. I can't imagine that those aren't in perpetuity, which means like they'll never get blurred in anything that isn't, like I said, maybe a video game.
And that's true. WWE never has fallings out with companies or people.
But that's how contracts work for advertising, though. Like you can't. But okay, all right, never mind.
It does from UFC. The other company that they are in business with.
In any case, but
your Real American Beer tattoo is never going to go away.
My Real American Beer tattoo? Is that the Hogan one? We didn't even talk about the Hogan
Is that podcast. The Hogan one?
We didn't even talk about the Hogan and Bischoff podcast. Ugh.
Podcast?
Yeah, aren't they doing a podcast? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No.
They're doing a wrestling company.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I lost so much respect for Bischoff.
Sabu.
I thought he was better. Oh, shit. Was he going to be their big star?
Well, no, not anymore.
Catch Can Wrestling with Sabu?
Yeah.
I hear Larry Valkyrie is training him.
It's RAF, Real Ass Fuckers.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know that they're starting a thing. I don't know who they're gonna sign.
I just assumed that Bischoff disliked Hogan in a way that made me respect him, and I've lost all respect for Bischoff. I didn't know. I had no idea.
You made something up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know a lot about him other than like an interview here
that
and there.
They've worked together for years and years and years.
No.
And never not been friends.
No, never knew that.
Okay. Well, they did. They worked in WCW.
I know
together,
that, but
I
thought since then, I always just assumed that, like most people in wrestling, he soured on Hogan.
No,
but yeah, shocker.
Like no, that age group, unless you were held down by Hogan or claim that he didn't put you in the main events with him for more than you deserved to be. That's all. Who's to say, really?
Interesting.
Everybody's cool with him.
I would have assumed that Bischoff has blamed Hogan for WCW failings and that Hogan has blamed Bischoff for WWE failings.
No, they only strive together. Like everything they did was great, and then they were out of power.
Let's see how great this one is.
They worked in Impact together for years. They came in together.
Oh shit!
It was Hogan, and then like in the background you go, wait, Bischoff's there too, and Jason Hervey was there, and yeah, they were all.
Well, there you go.
They were all there, man.
Best friends forever.
Yeah.
BFFs. I did enjoy the ending of this match, the women's Intercontinental match.
Dominic versus
oh shit, I forgot we
Penta?
moved on. I totally forgot we moved on already because we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about the ending.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the beatdown. Oh yeah, right. We're talking about Dominic.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about the beatdown between the women that Michael Cole thought Lyra's nose was broken, even though previous to that they were talking about it was a thumb to the eye. That's what Becky did.
I missed all of that.
That Barrett was saying like,
hilarious.
Yeah, it was a thumb to the eye, like it was on purpose.
Was he correcting him?
Well, he said that to start because that's how Becky's trying to take advantage, and then Lyra gets the roll up on her and is holding her eye, always a little close to her nose.
Okay,
but she's basically not wanting to put a finger in her eye,
right,
and just going like this. And then Cole is adamant throughout the rest of the fucking segment.
Oh, like you see it. If he thought she was holding her nose, he did his job.
I think her nose is broken. Jesus. Well, but it'll get worse from there with Michael Cole, as it usually does.
All right. So anyways, I apologize. I completely forgot we moved on. The
Dominic and Penta.
Great. Perfectly fine match. Again, these two are very good at what they do.
Very good. I can't wait for Penta to be a bad guy. Because it's still, I know he's still cool, but when he's a bad guy, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's just got the look of it. Because all the Lucha Underground stuff that he did when he was a bad guy was just so great. And it's just, of course it's untapped. Him being a face is untapped.
Sure.
But just in time, then when you're going to get brother versus brother, it's going to be fun.
Right on. What came after that?
Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
So I saw whichever the episode was where the attack happened.
Yes.
Right. I saw that. And then, McAfee defends Cole, and then gets his ass beat. And then they have the thing backstage, and Cole, and I appreciated Cole's performance where they're like, oh, take the night off. And he was like, no, I'm going to do my job. And he comes out.
They did all that. That was very, very well.
That was really, really good. I enjoyed all that.
With the exception of like McAfee's group and guys trying to hop the rail and all that. Like, that I couldn't care for. But the McAfee, Cole, Gunther, security.
With Wade
WWE
as well.
Of it all.
Oh, not Wade. Tessitore came in. That was really well. He wasn't in a coat. He wasn't dressed for it.
Yeah, what a fucking leech, though.
I really enjoyed all of that. And as it was happening, I thought, this is really interesting. Why the fuck are they doing this? What could this possibly be leading to?
Because we don't have Lawler anymore to do this.
Well, to be honest with you, the only thing I could think of was like, is Wade going to wrestle? Like, I thought to myself, like, is he going to start attacking announcers? And then I thought, and I was like, wait a minute. I know that the rumor was that Corey Graves was cleared. I know that like Wade could wrestle. And I thought to myself, like, is this going to be a thing versus him versus announcers? And then an announcer is going to, I don't know. My mind was wondering where they were going with this. Not in a million years I thought, well, it's going to go to Pat McAfee versus fucking Gunther. I don't know why I didn't think of that, because that's obvious. Of course, that's what they're doing. And then in the package to the lead up, I saw the stuff I missed, which was just like, you're suspended indefinitely.
Yeah. And
then him saying, I want to fight Gunther as soon as possible, or whatever weird bad way he worded it that made it seem.
He spoke so much. It was fast forwarding there. I'm like, he's still talking.
But it was just also like, it wasn't good. He didn't say like, I want to kick his ass. The as soon as possible was weird. Why would you add that?
Because he wanted the suspension lifted.
Yeah, it was
so I could fight him right away. And then I think it was Aldis. There was a night where like one wasn't there.
Right.
So Aldis steps in and goes, okay, I'm not going to do that, but you're going to have a sanctioned match where you'll fight him.
It all felt to me with an instance of like, this is why we have scripts.
No, he's not there anymore.
Well, he should have came out and he should have announced
Scripps should have fixed the whole thing. NXT's own Scripps. All capital letters.
Tim Redbear in the chat. It's Pat's make-a-wish to be a wrestler. Now, hopefully, it will never happen again. So, in any case, I get it. Sure, whatever. I assume that this is just going to be like, we're going to have Gunther just beat the shit out of Pat McAfee. I don't know why I assume that now. Pat McAfee puts up a pretty good fight. And in fairness, Gunther is like no selling. And they did a good job of telling the story of like Gunther could have beat him whenever he wanted to.
Yes.
But he's toying with him. And I enjoyed that.
Yes.
I still ultimately don't know what the point of this was.
So I'll get to that point in a second. The disconnect that I have with the Pat McAfee character that I've only been able to endure on television, and not all of it. No, it started with him and Adam Cole stuff, where he's like, "Oh, I can beat that guy."
Right.
Like that guy's the punter of wrestling.
Yeah, he was talking shit. Yeah.
Like, look at him. He's a tiny, scrawny little guy. Like I can beat him up. Sure.
Right.
And then later, I'm jumping ahead over a couple of beats, but
sure.
When he was in that Rumble in 2024, when he's at the announce desk
and he gets up
and then looks at a bunch of scary guys
and eliminates himself, right? Or
yes.
Yeah. Right.
And I go, wait, so why are you going to fight fucking Gunther?
100%.
Like the idea of,
okay.
Well, that's what I mean. So there is a connection where you go, you picked on my friend and colleague, Michael Cole.
And you assaulted me as well. And yeah,
not cool. I'm going to stand up for this. But it felt like it needed another beat or two, or for him to be put in the situation where he's kind of reluctant to do it. He's like, look, I wanted to wrestle at times and I thought about this, but like, this is too far. I'm going to fight for you, Cole. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to put up with this. If I get beat, I get beat. Didn't feel like that. It just felt like, oh, now I have the courage again.
Right.
Wait, really? You didn't before.
It also like making it not a fight and making it like a sanctioned wrestling match also seems counterintuitive to the point. If this was a street fight and it was about the grudge and it was like, that's going to be well,
then Gunther's that's going to be murder.
But if the point being that like, I know I can't take you on in a wrestling match, but maybe if I have a weapon, maybe if I can grab a chair or a kendo stick, then maybe I have a shot. I don't know. It all felt really weird to me.
I feel like if that was at least addressed by Aldis or somebody saying like, no, it's not going to be a fight because he's already gone off the rails. This has to have rules in it because otherwise we fear for what's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If that was dressed like just
and again,
kill all the things that
this
make
is very
you,
good logic you're putting onto it. Yeah.
And they had the time. They could have cut McAfee's speeches at any point to do this. So there was a funny stat where they said McAfee's fourth match was against a world champion. Like, yeah, Mr. McMahon.
They really said that?
He fought a former world champion.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Match.
It's like, yeah.
I didn't catch that at all. That's really funny.
And the match itself, so why they did this, I feel, is to just do a reset for Gunther, right? Like we've had so many times when Lawler steps in because Jared's being picked on, or there's just a new heel and they're going a little too far, and Lawler's like, fuck this, I'm going to stand up and do this because the crowd loves him. As much as I don't care about McAfee and any of that, clearly the crowd fucking loves this guy.
Absolutely, they fucking love this guy.
So what a great person to pick.
Sure.
That the crowd's going to unabashedly go like, yeah, fucking put Gunther in his place. We do think he's cool, but they're clearly not wanting to go the Gunther's so cool he's a face route that Jacob Fatu has.
Right.
So let's keep him hated. How do we keep him hated? We're doing the Jey Uso stuff.
Right.
But if he's gone for a little bit and he comes back, they're going to cheer him. Not against Pat McAfee.
Right.
So then he can bully him and he can go too far and he can do all the stuff. The Michael Cole of it all, that was a bit much.
Yeah.
Yelling and screaming. I'm going to be, for the first time in my career, I'm going to be biased.
That was really funny to me.
Bitch.
That to me felt, and honestly, that to me felt like him being funny. Like he was acting it as if it was straight, but him saying, for the first time in my career, I am going to be, like you've played a biased character for years.
I wish Barrett did that. Like, weren't you in a box for like a year and a half, annoying everyone?
Exactly, yeah. Didn't you ruin all of the NXT Women's a series?
Yeah.
But I felt like that was a funny little comedic nod. I thought that to me felt like a tongue-in-cheek thing to him to say.
I felt like it was.
But honestly, I think Barrett did a better job of Cole because Cole went to the line that was healthy and fun and a good story of like, I want him to lose, but then like. It was the repetition. I feel like they played the same beat of like, just end it, just pin him. They played that same beat. And then Barrett saying, you should sit down, Cole. And then Cole getting up. And then they did that like 4 times before Cole actually got into the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just felt like I was interested in what was happening on TV.
They played it out very well. The players in the ring,
yes,
they did a great job for it. And
like
the story was told well. The McAfee's getting in the spots or
McAfee's
being able to escape something,
sure,
or do something that flummoxed Gunther for a bit. Like all that was played really well. The Michael Cole of it all, just didn't work. And why you gonna get in the ring and tell Gunther like, hey, cut it out, just pin him,
right?
And Gunther's not destroying him.
Yeah, it felt, I don't know, it all just felt a little weird. And again, I guess to your point the point is just to make us all still hate Gunther.
Yeah.
The problem is that you and I aren't the biggest fans of Pat McAfee. It just made me like him a little bit more.
Who? Gunther?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's really good.
You smacked the shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Where Austin grabbed Michael Cole and beat the fuck out of him, it was supposed to be a dirty heel move.
Right.
I loved it and rewatched it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Brock
interesting.
Lesnar takes Zach I'm blanking on his name. He had one leg. Zach.
Oh yeah. He just popped up on our Discord because he was like on a indie show.
Hopped up.
That's offensive. I forget his name too.
It's bugging me.
Yeah.
I got the internet.
Oh no.
When Brock is throwing him down the stairs, it's like, well, yeah, this is kind of funny. Like I can't help it.
I'm not supposed to be laughing at this.
But the guy is when you're a badass all the way from your first badass. Zach Gowen.
There it is. I was trying to scroll up to the post.
We had so many Zack Sabre Jr. jokes that I'm like, that's all that's in there.
I think his name is Gak Zowen, as you're looking for.
Fuck.
Gak. What a great name for a wrestler. Gak.
Oh, well, you got to see the slime cleared.
Too bad we weren't still doing our Retribution names. That's a great one.
But yes, again, great placement for it's not the old type of, hey, well, let's put a women's match before
it's
the
not
main
a bathroom
event.
break, but it's also a low stakes, no title. It's a gimmick. it's a special attraction.
Special attraction, and you gave enough hope for the guy that everyone likes to go, well, shit, he might get out of this. He might win. He might not pass out. It might not.
And then
they made it believable.
And they also have the X factor of like, well, maybe Cole's going to help him. Cole's going to cheat when he held this thing down, and you realize like, oh, maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to like screw Gunther out of a loss, or out of a victory rather, into a loss. And like, it seemed like maybe that's what they're doing with this. Again, I don't know what that does for anybody, but at the end of the day, I guess
sympathy
Gunther,
for Pat, hatred for Tim Redbeard brings up a great point. I forgot about this. That happened. Why did Tim Redbeard says, why did Pat basically no sell the finish? That pissed me off. The whole thing did nothing for Gunther.
Can you elaborate? I don't recall what he's referring to.
So there is a section, I mean, I think less than halfway through the match, and I can't fault Pat for this. Like, he blew up. He blew up.
Oh my God. He's
totally out of breath.
He looked like he was wearing shoulder pads that had like itch cream on them, and then he took them off. He was just bright red from his elbow to his shoulder on both arms, just the tops, not underneath, and then his whole chest and upper back. It was amazing.
And so he was out of breath early, and he was able to maintain a lot of stuff pretty well.
Oh, totally.
The
guy's an athlete. He's an athlete for sure.
Well, he's a punter.
I mean, he's more of an athlete than either of us.
I can kick something. Give me something to kick.
No, not the dog. Leave him alone.
No. There was a moment on one of the many chokes that the rear naked chokes that Gunther did, where he's got Pat, and Pat, I don't know, is legit out of it at this point. No clue, because referee formerly known as Rudy Charles is coming over and grabbing hands and going like, "Hey!" And let me see to the camera. He's doing this. He's going
right.
He's checking on him with one arm and then going like, "You have to do the fucking following things." Right. He's covering his mouth more than Cena or Becky Lynch ever could.
Sure.
And calling shit during a match and saying all this stuff. And McAfee's not paying attention so well. And then Gunther gets up for him and gets out of the rear naked choke for Pat because Pat doesn't get up.
I kind of feel like I remember.
It's right towards the end.
I feel like I remember. There's also another instance.
But I think Pat was just out of breath.
Yeah, I think he was. It's not what he does.
Kind of gone and like lost it, and so that's what I'm assuming with that stuff.
There's also another moment.
But he should also just fucking tap.
There's also
he doesn't need to pass out.
Yeah, there's also a moment where, they get up and Gunther's clearly waiting for an arm to be thrown, whether an elbow or a hand, to do sort of a Cena reversal, right? Just to duck something to grab him.
Yeah,
and it's so clear that Pat has like what are we doing face on, and again, no blaming to the guy. It's an instance, and so instead he just goes like, and he puts his head down and it's like they were practicing the move, like when you were a kid and you grabbed your brother and your brother just like put his head down. That's exactly what it was, and I remember looking at that and going, "Oh, come on, Pat," where he's like, "Oh, you're gonna do that to me now? Oh, okay."
Yeah, sometimes it's just a little too much. It could be a little bit shorter and just a little bit more definitive of, Gunther beats you sooner and you can tap out, Pat. There's no
that's
shame
not
in
what
that.
Tim was referring to, by the way.
Oh.
Tim is saying that he said Pat passes out after a beat. Cole comes into the ring and then Pat just sits up and gets up.
Yeah, Pat's apparently never seen what happens when someone's choked out before, and there's no
that I missed.
your brain has reset. He just he gets up and looks at him like, "Well, I guess I got beat."
Right.
Okay. No confusion. No hurt. No. Okay. Thanks, Mongo 2.0. Let that be your one for the year, please.
Right.
We'll move on.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll see. I mean,
Steel cage.
I was gonna say, I hope that this is just gonna be, if anything, like, I don't know, is there anybody who's a new signee that hasn't? No, everybody's debuted. Like, whatever's next for Gunther, if it needs to be attached in some way to this, which I don't think it does, but if it does, just make it like, yeah, that guy's friends with Pat, whoever that person is, and that guy's like, hey, I saw what you did to an announcer. Let's see what you could. It
doesn't need to be any other announcers.
No, it doesn't.
It's just someone that's like,
unless it's Wade, because I would like to see Wade wrestle more.
No, because I don't want Wade to be the.
Also, I don't want to get his ass beaten.
Yeah, the guy who's like hung it up and
sure,
because we have that reserved for somebody else. I think coming up here in our next match that we're talking about.
Right.
So
main event time.
Main event time
felt like a real big main event.
St. Louis, Missouri.
This crowd.
They had done a very good job for this match that I feel like has been missed in other events, especially WrestleMania. One of the criticisms that I had that I think you had agreed with was we got no semblance of things to come in 2 nights. Yeah, we get the graphic of like, yeah, these two heads are going to face each other in this photo.
Right.
All throughout the night was Orton versus Cena. Here's the history of it. This was their very first match that we have footage of.
Yeah.
There was this highlights of this match. They fought this many times. Here's the tail of the tape. It was all about this is coming up.
Right.
This is huge.
This is what the evening was building to.
This is probably the last one ever. And your hometown boy may take the title from the guy who's going to take it forever and say, fuck you, it's mine.
He's going to save wrestling. Your hometown guy might save wrestling from the guy who says he's going to ruin wrestling.
It was all about building to this main event. So I think they did that exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And fucking Orton coming out. That was so cool. A great looking entrance of that, not quite an archway, but the way that screen was set up and just it's a tall enough tunnel for Orton to come out, and the graphic of the Viper and all that. It was cool. And Orton was looking great, having fun with the crowd.
Yeah.
Cena comes out, playing it up, and just big stakes for the title.
This was so much better than the Mania match.
Because it was a match. There was no bullshit that occurred in the middle.
Well, yes. We'll get to that. But the match itself, I mean, like, I'm not saying that he doesn't have any chemistry, that Cena doesn't have any chemistry with Cody. I'm not saying that, but he has so much chemistry with Orton, who he's been wrestling for 2 decades, that like everything they did was fun and made sense and worked to me. Like it was really fun. I also really, really enjoy commentary. Specifically, I believe it was Wade here commenting like, yeah, Cena's for the first time ever against Cody, Cena was wrestling like Orton has been wrestling for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that story. And I really enjoyed that story of like, you know, Orton or Cody wouldn't get there. Cody specifically wouldn't do the dirty things. Orton's not gonna have any problem with that. And like, this was a fun story.
Yeah, because we got a thumb to the eye, and then Orton went right back like, fuck you.
Right. It was fun. There was some really fun moments in here. You mentioned Cole butchering and, you know, botching a bunch of calls throughout. There's one moment I love.
He called one of the eye pokes a slap.
Oh.
He said, I don't think that's going to do much to him. And then fucking Barrett again goes like, no, it's an eye poke.
Well, I'm going to give him credit then. It's not going to make up for all the other times, but he actually did catch the reversal of the AA into the RKO, which I didn't notice.
On the replay.
No, the second it happened, Cole went, wait a minute. And he actually noticed it. And then it was just dead silent and nothing. And then they went like, yeah, it looks like he caught him. And so I thought like, oh, Cole, you had it, but you bailed on it.
I had thought he said, wait a minute, once they both were just lying on the ground. And he goes, well, wait a minute.
No.
I'm confused. And then the replay told everybody.
Oh, no. He caught it. He noticed it, but then nobody went up. Nobody played with it.
I give someone in the truck that credit.
But it was just a fun match.
Fun match. And then the timing of all these guys, it was excellent. Right. It's I think one of their better matches overall. And then we start to get
crazy. Then
picking on Chad Patton.
Yeah, all the ridiculousness comes by.
But at least with this ridiculousness that occurs, we don't get any players or any elements that are not within this world that's established and known.
There's no Travis,
like a Travis Scott.
There's no rapper comes out.
I'm sorry, I'm confused as to why this is happening.
Right.
So I think they do some fun stuff with Orton gives an AA to John Cena through the announce table, but he bounces off it and then it kind of collapses later. So he's like, fuck it, I'll go get another table.
Also, we should specify that the entire night, the fans constantly were chanting, we want tables. Yeah. They did it in the 4-way. Like they
had so many snacks, and it was not fair to put all those in their lap. They want tables. St. Louis.
Just little pop-ups.
Something.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
TV trays, fine. And Orton, hometown boy, gave him what they wanted, and they lost their fucking minds. It was very funny to me. He opened up the side by announce table, and they weren't there. There's no tables. Walked around hard camera, and then was like, "Oh fuck, god damn it, these goddamn LED panels." He was like, "How am I supposed to go to the ring?" Had to go all the way to the other side. That made me laugh.
I got it.
I just love the fact that the old school guy forgot that. Oh, it's right. There's fucking panels there now. Gave them what they wanted. And I was shocked that it was just, he just did it again. It wasn't like, oh, he brought it out and Cena's going to get the best of him. No, he picked him up. He did another.
I'm going to do another one to you.
Another
Crowd wants this, buddy.
Really, really fun. It was fun. There was,
Chad Patton gets the one ref bump in the ring, and then on the outside,
he gets the ref bump
gets thrown in the steps.
But yes, but in the ring, it was the push.
Yeah.
Where Cena pushes Orton into the ref.
Yeah.
He takes that bump, and he should be able to get up pretty quickly from that.
Yeah, he's got a decent enough amount of hit points,
Sure,
I think. But
yeah.
Cena's like, nah, I'm gonna twirl my mustache a little bit and go to the outside. Like, okay, fine. Well, you Cena's not as heavy as he used to be, but sure. Like these guys, Orton's heavier, so it hurt him a lot.
Right.
But then throwing in the steps, like that justifies he's out for a while. We get all that stuff with the tables going on. The one thing I didn't like about this match was all that time with no referee. We get into a situation where there's a pinfall. This is several minutes.
That was my big gripe. Is nobody in the production truck watching or nobody like of the officials watching the main event for the Undisputed World Championship? It seems to me like there was too much time with no official.
To not throw out a referee that we know that we've established that they all stand around shirtless with no authority.
100%.
And they have to put their shirt on.
Give me a ref. Give me a shirt. Give me a shirt.
And they got to get out there. So
that to me was the first moment where the match took like a downward turn where I was like, okay, there's too much of nothing happening.
And only when there was a pinfall attempt did they go, well, I guess we have to now.
Right.
A referee came down.
Yep.
But then it all picked back up, and logically, I think everything went fine. Then that ref gets fucking knocked out with the title belt. And then we get that was too far. Where then the officials are coming out like, well, this ref's dead. Not Chad Patton. Fuck Chad Patton. He owes me money.
He owes me money. It did bug me because there was a pin attempt occurring when Aldis slides into the ring, and my thought process is, if he's in charge of the refs, he should be able to make a call. Like
he doesn't have a referee license.
He should have been able to like. It bugs me that I almost would have preferred there not have been a pin attempt.
So the owner of a basketball team can go, they're all hurt. I own the fucking thing, so I'm gonna play.
I mean, if according to that new commercial with Kevin Hart, yes, that is how it works.
I don't know.
For Capital One.
Well, Kevin Hart, to be fair, has 78 commercials that come out a day.
Yeah, I don't know. That it bugged me. There was this.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I didn't love it. I also do think that in recent memory, it feels like there's like nothing but ref bumps in world title matches, and this is
you
now
want them in the opener. You want some opening match where like,
but this is now the second PLE in a row where we've got the low blows.
Well, this is clearly leading to what I see is Cena in some match where there's a special guest enforcer or a special referee because referees are going down. That'll be a major element of, hey, you've been taking advantage of this. You've been fucking around, like not with
CM Punk,
not with the Rockstar Spud as your referee.
No, that's not his name in this world, in this universe. He's Drake Maverick.
Well, he could be whatever we want it to be now.
Yeah, I like that. If that's where it's going, then I'm okay with it.
So we get a pinfall attempt. Like you said, the referee was down, and then Orton's trying, and then Aldis
referee is down.
Aldis and former wrestlers come in.
Everybody.
One which I could not place. I thought it was maybe Tyler Bate, but it was a little blonde guy with a mustache. I thought for a second it was Spud, but he's too big. But it was Daivari and Hurricane and Noble, along with all those guys. Because Orton, I thought a fucking great interaction. Because when we're getting into the moments of crowds going, shit, Randy Orton may not win this, but how do you make these people happy? What's a way that people can still walk away and not just go, fucking Cena won. That's bullshit.
I can't show the video.
We can listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. So he's playing the end of Backlash. Orton's pinning Cena, Morgan, and Morgan.
There's up to 7. Like he could have just been like, ring the bell right there.
No, but the match is still going. There's no official.
All right.
That
guy.
Who's that guy? Yeah, it's the second guy that enters the ring.
I'm going to lower this a little bit.
Thank you. This interaction between everybody's great with Orton flipping out.
It is pretty good.
And the timing is solid because you go, oh, he's gonna hit him with RKO, and then no, he's just mad and pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's in range, and this is the
Yeah.
second RKO that Aldis has gotten, I believe, and Aldis is still in fucking wrestling shape.
There he is. Looks great.
I think if we're gonna get someone that comes out and it's not
All
the
right,
McAfee thing
So
of,
I'm waiting for the guy to turn around so we can see him.
It's that
oh yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah. Who is this guy?
but he's a wrestler.
I think he's just like an indie guy that they wanted a certain amount of dudes.
But all the rest of them are wrestlers.
I know.
All the rest of them are their guys. That's Hurricane.
That's Hurricane.
That's
There's
Davari.
Ari. There's
No, that's Sean.
Jamie Noble.
Racist.
Oh, whoops.
Jamie Noble Boy tried to do a little extra something, but he's like, I don't got it no more. And yeah, the crowd gets, what was that? 4 additional RKOs to
Aldis,
people?
guy we don't know, Davari, Noble.
Hurricane.
Oh, Hurricane Davari.
5.
So 5. 5 additional.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous to have all that.
Identity of Independent Wrestler, Randy Orton, RKO'd at Backlash. Yep, there it is. It was...
You can say there it is and go, well, who? Okay, so who was it? Nick
Austin
Aldis.
Mulatalo.
What?
He is half of the NWA WLW Tag Team Champions.
Whoa, there's a lot of extra letters there.
NWA WLW World Lightweight Tag Team Champions. Do they have World Lightweight Tag Team Champions? I don't know what that stands for.
Well, you added tag team in front of the other W.
What do you mean?
World Lightweight
Yeah.
Tag Team?
Yeah, WLW World Lightweight.
Oh, I see.
That's what I was doing.
I thought lightweight was always a word.
Yeah, it is. I'm yes. Welcome to the absurdity that I am trying to put on this.
What about World Lightweight? What? Well, good for him. Hey, he had a better debut than Joe Hendry.
Which debut? Well, it depends on what you count as a debut.
So yeah, all that happens, which I think eases the crowd with the loss that Orton's going to get from all this.
Right.
But Orton has a justification. Like, I fucking had him. It was good. And then all this bullshit happened and I beat up all these people. But then Cena takes advantage with everybody being down with a low blow. And then I'm glad that we're getting back to low blow being the end all be all.
Sure.
That there shouldn't be anything else. Like, you get hit to the balls.
Right.
Al Snow's talked about this in interviews with Wrestling Logic. And he goes, you've all been hitting the balls. Could you carry on with a fight afterwards?
Right.
Like, isn't
Right.
that it?
That's it. Yeah.
If you want to do balls and a finishing move, like, yeah, sure.
But do it while the guy's holding his balls.
Yeah.
Like if you kick
Like,
some
that
guy,
was-
like every stunner should have been,
What
because he
it
doesn't
was-
get his leg high enough.
What it was
all the time.
to Byron Saxton during the pandemic, where he got 3 ball kicks in a row.
Right.
Brock was this way. Like, Brock was unstoppable,
Right.
but once people had
Yeah.
cracked the code when fighting him, it's
Yeah.
like, no, you hit him in the balls.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you could win.
when you have diverticulitis, the balls are exceptionally
Mhm.
powerful. Yeah.
So Cena gets the victory.
After telling everybody to shh, be quiet, you guys.
And then gets after the match promo telling him to shut up. And I thought,
So-
what a great note for if this is their last match. Like, this was tremendous.
This was a fun end of an era. This honestly was like, it didn't get any of the, Hell in the Cell, WrestleMania 28, whatever one that was. But like this definitely felt like an end of an era of this era. Like it really was. Like these two have carried the company in so many ways for 20 years. And it was exciting.
Except they said one guy's got 10 years left. So
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And I was like, oh, well, he's definitely going to beat him as far as world titles. But what I want to talk about, though, is I thought, I don't know, because everybody now, I assume, is watching this on Peacock. So
we're on Peacock now? Holy shit.
The little bug comes up and it says, Paul Levesque is the executive producer.
And the other guy.
And the other guy.
Lee Fitting.
Yeah.
Which was a room in Mervin's.
I always assume when that comes up right afterwards, like the feed is cut, because in my mind, it's still like on television somewhere on a broadcast. I don't know when the actual show ends, but the audience, because we're booing the shit out of Cena, we're telling him he sucks. He beat the hometown guy, but then also that's John Cena. This is his farewell tour. He's been around for how long? He's a fucking goat. The fans all start chanting, "Thank you, Cena." And Cena is doing great work. He's like bothered by it. But he's also not doing the heel Cena that we've been seeing him do for now a month and change. Like he's just sort of like he doesn't know what to do with it. And they're all like chanting for him and they're applauding him like after it, and I don't know how much of that is included in the broadcast, but I thought that was really interesting and really fun. And I don't know whether or not we're going to get a face turn before he's done. I assume his last match will be him wrestling as a face again. I don't want that to be the case, but I assume it will be the case.
I think you'll get it probably 3/4 of the way through the year.
Yeah, you think
something will occur, and we'll get
Survivor
like
Series-ish
we'll get a few months
right.
of good guy Cena on a redemption arc.
It's also been announced that his last match is booked for Boston, Cena. So he'll be the hometown hero in his final match. I don't know. I thought that moment afterwards was really interesting because the crowd just did what a crowd does at a live show. Okay, the show is over. And we were booing you 2 seconds ago, but now thank you for entertaining
we'll never
us.
see you again. Thanks.
Yeah,
we paid so much money. We have to keep making noise.
Right. And it was actually, I thought it was really good. And he took his sweet ass time listening to it. And I thought for sure, like, oh, grab the mic again. Like, tell us what this. Let us know how you feel here. Like he's the kind of guy who could do that really well. He did that. Like we talked about. I didn't talk about it, but I alluded to it earlier when someone threw a can at him at a Raw or whatever that was, SmackDown. Like he's good. He's good at this thing. Who'd have thought? But I dug it. And I liked the fact that he took time at the ramp and he kind of took it in and it felt like he was enjoying it. Maybe he felt bad because he was surprised that they were still cheering for it. I don't know. It was just good. Just good stuff.
Just good stuff.
I hope that gets discussed in whatever we see on Monday.
Well,
or whatever he is, Saturday, Friday, whatever the fuck he's on.
Real quick, Alex Pierce joined the chat and says, sorry I'm late. Could you please start the show over?
Sure. Okay, so Fatal Four started with a Fatal 4-way. Oh wait, first Sabu died.
Yeah,
Sabu's dead.
Yeah.
Fatal 4-way happened, and then the women's finish was really nice. Even though we had already started talking about the Intercontinental title, yeah. I went back to the women's finish because I got lost in where we were. I'm thinking of a lot of things right now.
So many things. Are you married yet?
That's pretty much it. No, I wouldn't tell you if I was.
Right.
Please stop bringing that up on air. It's a really sore subject.
John Cena was at the press conference post show.
Oh, right. Wait, we didn't even talk about.
Right.
Yes. In the match.
Right. I forgot. Yeah.
I forgot all about that. After after all of that stuff is said and done.
Before Cena goes nutty, R-Truth pops in.
And saves his hero.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I got you, man. It's gonna be okay. And Cena's not having it.
Oh my God, this was amazing.
Yes, it's so great when you bring in characters from the world of wrestling that have relationships with characters in the world of wrestling, as opposed to a fucking rapper that has zero.
And it was also like, it was funny without being absurd.
Yes.
Because here's a guy who stuck his face into everything for the past 20 years. And he got an RKO for his troubles. And even Orin's like
more CTE for
Orin's like, what do you so there was six extra RKOs. We didn't even think about this.
Wait, did he not get an attitude adjustment? Did he get an RKO?
No, he got an RKO. Orton RKO'd him because Cena was out. It wasn't until the post show.
I thought he was helping Cena up.
No, he prevented a pinfall.
Oh.
He stopped the kick, the punt. That's what it was. He was going to punt him. Orton was going to punt Cena, and R-Truth saved him from being punted.
Okay.
And then was like, don't do it. Come on, he's my hero. And then was like, it's going to be okay. You're okay. Get up. And then Orton was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then gave him an RKO, which was amazing.
Okay.
He sold it incredibly, but that was enough for Cena to turn the tides. Oh, fucking so good. So anyways, yes, then we get to the press conference show, post show, whatever you want to call it. And during that show, R-Truth came out.
R-Truth came out. This is the only snippet I watched from that.
Yeah, same.
Yes. Okay. I went back and watched the clip. Yeah, I had it wrong in my mind. Yeah, with R-Truth stopping RKO. The RKO is even more pissed. So
yeah,
R-Truth's got to lose a match to Orton now too. But all this, every time I'm watching R-Truth and Cena, any interactions, I'm going like, am I going to get them as tag team champions, please?
Right.
This last year that we talked about.
Right.
But R-Truth's going like, it's okay, man. I still support you. Everything's going to be great. And then Cena just basically says, leave me alone. And if there's another word out of you, like,
well, there was one thing that he said I forgive you, or even if you did something, and
even if they say you suck and you can't wrestle.
Yeah, even if I still love you, even if they say you suck and can't wrestle, and then that's where he was like, that you crossed the line.
Yeah, if you say anything else, we're gonna have a problem. And then, okay, well, I just want to let you know, grabs, and then AA's through the press conference table,
which was a fun little thing for those in the press conference to get a little
to not react and go, yeah, okay.
But super fun.
Yes.
And by the way, that's all we need. We don't need Truth explaining it on Raw. Just show that clip if you're going to show anything. We don't need it, we don't need to dwell on it. It doesn't need to become Cena versus R-Truth now.
Why not?
I mean, it can if you want it to, but
yeah, I want more of them.
But just for a TV appearance, not on a PLE.
Why not?
Because he's only got so many days left.
Why can't it be against the former NWA World Champion and a guy who's been there forever,
most
and has
winning
the most
7-Eleven
CTE
championship
than anybody?
Now you mean championship title experiences?
That's right.
Yeah, because he's won that 24/7 title.
And he's got that brain stuff too.
I don't know, freeze?
Mm-hmm.
He drinks.
He's got the freeze fog. He's got the good
fun.
CTE that
it
you
was
want.
Fun. That was fun.
It makes you lovable.
No titles change hands in all of Backlash.
Nope.
But yeah, I definitely feel like like you said, the pace of the show was nice. The main event felt like a real big deal. They did a really good job of selling the history, of making it seem like, yeah, this is like his last fucking time ever.
Yeah, and that could be Cena Orton the final one. It also felt like you could do this again, and people would go for it
if they do it in a cage or something where it's like nobody can get involved, or like you said, with a special guest ref.
Yeah, that if Orton's got a case, it feels like Gunther McAfee. We're moving on from that for Gunther and somebody else, and Mysterio and Penta could keep going. That certainly still has legs.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess I felt like, because this remind me in the IC title match, the men's one, the Judgment Day assisted Ray.
Sort of.
But in a way that Finn really took his time, and then they all got ejected in a very humorous way.
Hold on, I realized how to act to let you know I need some more time, huh? And they're like, come on, hurry up, we got it, we're holding them, and you could beat them up right now. Carlito's distracted. What the? You took too much time. He's like, who? Me? I was unaware.
Well,
he's doing like Conan acting. He's doing Conan O'Brien acting.
Did you watch the new episode of Conan O'Brien Must Go that just came out?
Shit.
Yeah. The new season 2 just started airing.
Okay.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Is it the Javier Bardem one?
Yes, the first episode is Madrid, Spain.
Okay, so
and when I tell you, I had no idea Javier Bardem is just as fucking silly as Conan. I would have never guessed it. Javier Bardem might be Conan's best improv partner he's ever had.
I knew he was a little bit silly. Didn't know he was that silly.
I was astounded. I want to see these two in just an exclusive travel show forever.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them have so much chemistry, and Javier Bardem is fucking hilarious.
That's great.
This is not a Conan podcast, but in any case,
not yet.
So after all the bad acting, the audience also beautifully choreographed. I guess they had a meeting beforehand of you out of here, which was amazing.
Oh, right. Yeah. The timing.
That was really impressive.
That felt strange. It's like, did you all have a meeting?
It wasn't the yous made sense to me. It was the out of here that was like, you could hear the T's pronounced so perfectly.
You all knew.
And that's not a thing that happens all the time in wrestling.
Yeah. You're gone. Like all the things that you thought would have been an amalgamation of people said like,
or a bunch of people saying like, you are out of here or get out of here. But it was just simply out of here.
Like the ref came out before the show and goes, hey everybody, I'm going to be ejecting somebody, and it'd be great if it's a you, and then if we all say you're out of here.
No, not even the your. There was no your.
Oh, it's out of here.
It was just you out of here. Fucking amazing.
Well,
Great
remember,
work.
ref, you got it.
Well, in any case, yeah, I don't know. I at some point that Judgment Day has to, the new Judgment Day has to implode with Finn, but also we got the involvement of
just being a dick.
We also got the involvement of Americano. What's his name again? Grande Americano. Grande
Americano.
So
with his loaded head.
So that's also
the opposite of R-Truth.
Alrighty.
So yeah, there's more elements there from start to finish. This was a fun show.
It was fun.
Again,
I
like,
clearly have
as
to
far as-
rewatch the opening because Tim said it was his favorite match of the night, and I missed
Yes.
it. I missed I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention to it, so I should have rewatched that.
Yeah, and I hope to see more shows like this overall, where we can treat the main event as the main event, build up to it, and everything else is great openers and middle matches, rather than the beginning is just as important as the end. Overall, for an experience, if you haven't checked it out in a while, or you're thinking after the Travis Scott fucking Mania main event, it's like, oh, I don't know, give this show a watch. It's a solid watch.
Even though we just spoiled everything for you.
Yeah,
should have put that at the beginning. Well, there you have it. We gotta get out of here. If you want to check out the live version of this, or if you want to watch this, all you gotta do is head on over to patreon.com/PW Palskis.
because it's free now, apparently, to just watch this.
Your
live,
and your Patreon dollars are the only reason that we can continue to do the program. Scott,
and that we have clean underwear.
Speak for yourself. I don't have any underwear. I go commando. I'm a huge fan of the movie.
That's why your dogs keep sniffing you. Regular John Matrix over here.
You know all the stuff. Check out the shop, Dragon Wagon Radio .com, or get pwpalskis.com. Everything's there. Nobody commented on my new corduroy PWP hat that I got. Did you see this? It's really lovely.
Oh,
it's new. It's nice. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that high quality. That's a nice looking corduroy.
So high quality.
I love it. Because you know what? There's nothing like a corduroy hat in the beginning of the summer.
Yeah,
I like a hat. I wear it inside. I wear it on the air. It's
really
cold in here. I got the AC going. It's chilly. I'm a little chilly guy.
I get too hot wearing a hat.
Snag yourself a hoodie. You can see we got nice hoodies. We got shirts. We got all sorts of stuff. Look at this. I'm all decked out in our merch today. I got a shirt on. It says Toll Ride on it. I don't know where this is from, but
no,
I bought it because
that guy who fell down a well.
The design. And we have to thank our current Patreon Palskis, Scott and Arbor. Do you have that list readily available?
I certainly do. Thank you to all of our current Patreon Palskis for keeping the show up and running and all that extra content available for you. Adrian Avina, AJ0314, Alex Pierce, Alice Rader, Andrea Beeler, Gilbert Short, Mass Lama, Mexican Stallion, Micah Beltran, Mike Lucas, Strong Style, Suicide, Tim Redbeard, Tom Hader, and the PWP champ, Tony Griggs.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. We could not, should not, would not do this without you for joining us. Oh, we didn't say Tony Griggs. Once again, I always like to throw it at the end. Current PWP champ. If you wanted challenge him, you got to become a patron.
Yep.
Only way that you can get entered into that contest. Will Tony Griggs win it for a record tying third year? He's just like John Cena.
A trifecta
for all those years. Yeah, he could tie for the most wins.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio could show up on our, Patreon and take him out, because he was basically the guy that seemed to do that.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke about him being El Patron, like Patreon. Alberto del Patreon.
Yeah, this would be the time you'd edit any of that out.
I'm not editing anything because I'm lazy. All right, thanks everybody. We hope you had fun joining us. It's always a blast hanging out with you for Wrestling Palskis.
It's Dragon Wagon.